Hello, and welcome to the Bearded PT. I am the Bearded PT. Thank you for joining me today. We're going to be talking about the top 5 mistakes that people make when they're trying to recover from an injury. Now, in my clinic, I see a lot of people, and I see some very common mistakes that happen on a regular basis that really kind of slows down the healing process when people are trying to recover from something that had happened, an injury. Now, one of the best ways to learn is through your own mistakes, right? Hopefully, when you make a mistake, you're not going to repeat it again because we tend to learn. Some of us might take a few times to make the same mistake to learn. But you know what? A better way to learn is to learn from other people's mistakes so that you don't end up repeating what has already been done. So here we go. I'm going to share with you the top 5 mistakes that I see when it comes to trying to overcome and recover from your injury. Number 5 on the list is blaming somebody else or something else for your injury. Now, I've seen this a lot, especially with car accidents, work accidents. It's somebody else is at fault. For as much as you would like to believe, nobody else really cares as much about your pain and your injury as you do. It's not that people are cold-hearted and just don't care about you. That's human nature. We are concerned mostly with ourselves and our well-being. So it is ultimately your responsibility to overcome your injury and your pain. So don't place the blame and responsibility on somebody else. This is your injury. Number 4, consulting Dr. Google. Just don't do it. It will always show you worst case scenarios and horror stories. Your prognosis, I am sorry, is terminal, even though you have tennis elbow. Somehow you're gonna die. So just don't do it. Number 3, going to your doctor for an injury. Now, hold on. This does not mean that doctors aren't good. That's not at all what I'm saying. But as a physical therapist, we are the experts of the human musculoskeletal system. And when it comes to injuries, this is our expertise. A lot of times, depending on the doctor, if you go to the doctor, they're likely to refer you to physical therapy. Or what happens a lot of is you get an anti-inflammatory or muscle relaxer and told give it a couple of weeks and see if it works. Research shows us, and I can show you the research articles, that that doesn't work. That actually does not help you recover. So when it comes to injury, be careful about going to your doctor. If you do have to go to your doctor, depending on your state and your insurance, you can always ask to be referred to your physical therapist. Number 2, relying on passive interventions. Those things outside of you that you try to take or do to yourself through somebody else to help you out with your pain and your injury. So that's that anti-inflammatory, that muscle relaxer, that's passive, massage, uh, acupuncture, those sorts of things aren't taking real responsibility for addressing the healing and the recovery. Passive interventions really don't help out that much. And the number one mistake that people make when it comes to overcoming and recovering from their injury or pain is doing nothing. That's right. Waiting to see if this will go away. I'm hoping it's going to go away. I'm going to, I strained my muscle. I'm going to lay down for a few hours or days or weeks. This doesn't help. Our bodies, if you've been watching some of the past episodes, our bodies are incredible at healing, and it goes through 3 distinct phases. We have to trust that process and help it out, actually. So, again, top 5, quick review. Blaming somebody else. Consulting with Dr. Google. Going to your doctor instead of the physical therapist. Relying on passive interventions and doing nothing. So, here's what we should do in response to an injury. Number 1, take action. Do something. Take care of yourself. And again, 3 stages of healing that we want to go through. When you injure yourself, here's the basic process that you should notice. about 2 days of fairly bad pain. You're going through that inflammation. Then it starts to settle after that second day. And by the end of the first week, it should be noticeably improving. And then by the end of 2 weeks, we should be significantly better. If you're not following that process, if you're, 4 days, 3, 4 days into it, and it's not getting better, the sooner you can seek help, the faster your recovery will be. In fact, number 2, here we go. Things for you to do. Take action, and that action includes gently moving and stimulating that body part that has been injured. If you know it's not broken, like I don't have a bone sticking out, you're not bleeding actively, you strained something, you pulled something, you sprained it, what have you, gently start moving it. Start gently stretching it. Even though it hurts, it's not necessarily broken. By moving, stretching, and gently getting it going, you're going to actually help with the healing process. Interesting study that came out recently about ankle sprains is that the old process of icing, compressing, elevating, giving you crutches for 2 weeks really isn't that helpful. You will heal, but another group that was studied, they let it swell, then they started icing it after the first day, and were instructed to start walking on it immediately, even though it hurts. Again, these are ankle sprains, not fractures or things like that. But immediately start walking on it, and guess what? Those people got back to being normal faster. So, gently stimulating it. Number 3, stay active, meaning try to engage in some of your normal activities, work, recreation, whatever it is you do for fun that you need to be doing, but you may have to modify it a little bit, reduce the intensity. As long as you're trying to stay relatively active with some modification, because you are actively healing, you will actually get better faster. Yep, same idea with the ankle sprains. Get walking immediately, even though it does hurt. Of course, I don't expect you to walk 10 miles, but start walking on it, stimulate it. Try to be as normal as you can. And number 4, go see your physical therapist. When you are injured, you strained, you sprained something, you overworked it, and it's hurting, your musculoskeletal expert in injury care is your physical therapist. And if you can see your physical therapist within the first 2 weeks, your recovery will be almost cut in half. And you will spend a lot less money. We've got studies to show that, especially with back pain, new onset of back pain. Get in within the first 2 weeks. Your chances of recovery are much greater. And in most states, you can go directly to your physical therapist. You want to look at your state laws and your insurance rules as well, but you can see your injury specialist, your physical therapist. So thank you for joining me. If you find this information very helpful, go ahead and share this with your friends. Hit that share button. And also, take a look at some of the other videos if you really haven't been following along. I got a lot of good information in there. Thank you for joining me, folks. I am the Bearded PT. Let's get moving, people.